new toys to play with. So, who doesn't like new tools and new toys? Yeah. 20-inch Flex Volt Dewalt battery operated saw. Yeah, so I figured, I got another saw sitting here. Sometimes it's nice just not to pull and crank and have the loud sounds of a gas motor run. Just pick it up, cut, set it down, pick it up, cut, set it down. I'm going to go ahead and work on some cookies here on the mill, and I figured, well, this is too new and shiny, and we can't keep it that way, so let's go ahead and get it a little dirty and see how it does. Now, this is about I don't know, that thing's probably around 8 to 12 inches in diameter, so it should be no problem whatsoever for this saw. But let's have a little fun with it. I've got to put the board back on the mill for doing the cutting of the cookies. So I'm going to get all set up. You guys just hang out. We'll get set up and start cutting these cookies up. Let's raise up the tractor here real quick. This got some nice little waves in it right here, so that might be kind of interesting. That might have been a good one to cut into a log or flat face, but we'll have many more opportunities to get cool stuff. So let me kind of get you guys. You're not quite, this is not a wide view, this is just my cell phone now. So I have to kind of move it back a little bit so you get the whole picture. So let's put the board on the mill real quick. And the backer board, I broke the other backer board off, so this one I got to kind of set there, but it seems to be working. I need to screw another one onto it, but it works for now. We made this to fit over the rails on the two bunks here. Get it right. Then we drilled holes through it for the clamp to go in. It's not perfect by any means, but it didn't cost me anything to make it, really. So, I don't know, there's an advantage to that, I believe. Let's see, get that back. It is a little tricky. It'd be better if it was screwed down, and maybe that's would be a good chore list for me today to do, is to go ahead and get that fixed. I guess there's something holding it up. Oh, it's part of the old screw sitting there. It's like, why is this not going back on there? It'll be what it is. So let's just get a couple of these cut, get a section cut here, and then we'll go from there. Now, obviously, this is a battery-operated chainsaw, so you have to depress this button over here, or push this lever down in order to pull the trigger. Then it has a brake safety. You can just, I would recommend you do that every time you store it or you get done with it. Just click it back on. It is full of oil. So let's just make a couple cuts, to see how this thing does. I think it'll do fine. Yeah, that's not hateful. And you guys have been following along with the channel. You know I'm doing a bunch of spalty beech nut. Well, I did some bigger ones, but I want some medium-sized ones as well. So we're going to use this log for doing that. I can't go super high on the mill because of the leverage on the log, and it can kick out. I've had problems with that, so I need it to go back a little bit. If I fold the forks too far forward, it'll roll off. So we'll try to get find the happy medium that works. It's just enough to let me roll it without coming off of there. Maybe I can just slide it. I just don't want the bar to hit the, obviously, the frame of the tractor. It's got a crotch section over here, which will be neat for making some cookies. So I'll probably cut one off this side, cut one off that side. It's got a pretty big check in it, so those cookies will probably have a check in them. But it's got a nice crotch section, and I always try to do something a little different. Usually about 16 to 18 inches is as tall as I want it on the mill. Alright, that's that section. I can see some nice spalty stuff in there. This is a little crooked, so it's not going to sit in the mill very good. So let me kind of guesstimate what will make it sit straight. Not bad. The dogs dig in pretty good. It's got dual dogs on it, dual spikes, bud on each side. That is very rare. It's very nice. Don't even have that on the gas saw. So let's take a cut right above the crotch. To split wide open. I could hear it popping when I was cutting it. So it's beautiful spaltiness though. Jeez. So I'm hoping it doesn't split when I go to cut it. But that crotch section's got a lot of tension in it. So let's put the safety on, set this aside on one of my little stumps I keep over here. Put my saws on it. Comes inconvenient. All right, so now let's get one of these cookies up on the mill. Now I can move you guys in a little closer than we were. I say it's not a wide view, it's just my cell phone, so it doesn't always give you the best as far as a panoramic. I probably could set it, but I think it's good enough for what we're doing. Man, am I getting wimpy. Older I get, the weaker I get. You'd think as much as I do, I wouldn't get so weak, but yes, welcome to life, right? Now the trick is, you got to remember the saw blade is trying to pull it this way. So I got to make sure, see how it's spinning? And it wants to lift it. So it's real important to get that as secure as you can. And see, that's too far for the chain to hold it. So hopefully, sometimes these get to be an odd size and it don't work well. Because you're stuck with the holes that they have, and it may not necessarily work. So, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? Maybe we can cheat. Find myself a board here. We'll try to cheat and use a cheater board. Something to kind of fill in the gap. We'll see how that presses against it. That's pretty impressive. Okay, I like that. This is far enough this way. The spring-loaded chain will hold it. All right, I'm pretty confident. We're probably pretty good. I can see a good sized check in it. You just don't know. You just got to cut them and see what happens. But I like that saw. Now you guys seen, we've got a Flex Volt. It's this 18-inch bar. And I'll do a comparison with that in another video. But I see a couple features that I like on this one. One is not having to bend down as far. That's why I wanted a 20-inch bar. I'm not trying to cut a 20-inch tree. I never intended on doing that. I got saws for doing that. So let's get this up in the air. While this is going up, there's one more product I want to get. You guys saw the pole saw. You know, we got a gas steel pole saw. I want to get a pruning, well, it's a pruning saw, but I want to get the Flex Volt. Dewalt makes a nice Flex Volt, and they got two different styles of extended reach pruning saws. One has an 8-inch bar, one has a 6-inch bar. One, you have to add a section in to extend it, and I kind of look at it, it looks like it's extended so far, it looks like you could almost break the pole, you know, when you go up and come down. So I'm not sure. And then there's another one, it's a 6-inch cut, which would be fine for what I'm doing, but it has clamps so you can extend it, but it's like 14 foot. My purpose for getting it is for like when I go hunting, or I'm setting up a hunting place, or these trails, I can walk along. I want something light that I can just walk down the trail and cut all these little branches, you know, that grow in over the trails. So I haven't decided which one to get. So what I'll do is I'll go back after we do the video. I'm going to put the two of them in there, a link to the two of them. So I want you guys to look at it and tell me which one you would like me to see me review. I'm not buying both of them, but just think about what you think would be the most convenient, most kind of style you would like to look at, and let me know. And in maybe a week or so, I want to get out here on some of these trails and get pruning them back along the field, and I want to do a good test with that. So let me know. I don't know if I can do a survey on there, but just let me know which one you think would be the best and which one you'd like to see me review, because I can't make my mind up on which one I want. I like the one where you can adjust it, and then right on the fly you can go bigger. You don't have to carry an extension pole to lock in. Plus the one that has the adjustable one, it can also be just a little handheld one, because basically where the battery goes in is where the extension hooks to it. So, but I'll share the links, and I like some feedback. Just let me know which ones you'd like to see me review, which one you think would work better compared to the other one. I've seen some reviews on YouTube, but not of the one where you got the two yellow clamps so you can adjust it and then use it as a single pruner. I haven't seen any reviews for that. That's the one I'm leaning towards, but I'm going to ask you guys to give me your input on what you think about that. So let's get this cut here. Oops. Turn the power off. It won't go anywhere without the power on. We'll take our first cut and get it level. Boy, that looks like I did a good job at getting where it needs to go already. These are highly spalted, that is for sure, and they're definitely pretty soft. So this is going to be, I'll bring one over and show you. This is definitely going to be a test for that polycryl, because these are definitely, I mean, you hear them, they're still fairly soft, but they're definitely punky. So we'll probably end up using that polycryl in 100% solution for these. Let me carry a couple over to you. So this is probably borderline usage, I guess you could say. We're probably pushing our luck. So, but these are a nice size. I mean, they're pretty dry. I mean, I'm sure they're probably wetter than my hands are telling me, but they're pretty dry. I wouldn't doubt that these things, you know, we could have these ready probably pretty quick. That log was right at its edge of being worth anything. It's pretty much only worth cookies. So you can see the spaltiness on it. And it's got a little check. You see that check in the center. So who knows what's going to happen with that. So that's that. They're all about 1 inch thick. Like I say, they're a little soft. The center does have a little bit of strength to it. But anyways, let's I can't speed it up, but let me go ahead and I'll take probably another 5 off of it real quick. Then we'll get that crotch section and put that crotch section log up there and see what that one looks like. So I'm thinking, see, I'm towards the edge. As I get in, it may get a little more firm in there. We'll just find out in a minute. I think they're going to sand up and look really nice. We'll probably sand one just for the heck of it and see what it looks like. I just do a couple a little thicker in case some of these act up. But I think they're still pretty solid, even though they're punky. Like I say, I like to get the moisture meter on it just to see where it's at. It's over in the shop. I don't have one over here. But I'll probably do like a short, or maybe testing these out. And then you guys will have that answer to that. See how they look when they're sanded. They're really punky, but I figured I'd go ahead and do a couple a little thicker. These are 1.5 inches. So I think they're going to look nice. I mean, I've had spalty wood like this. Beechnut's pretty hard wood. See, I'm starting to get in where it's a little oval. See, I like that too. But I think they'll stand up fine. We'll treat them with the polycryl. We'll go ahead and use the solution 100%. We won't mix any water in. It would be nice to get one more out of that sucker. I can move my clamp down possibly, because I don't mind having that bottom one being a little fat. I like to have some of the fat ones. People like to use them for elevating stuff on the table. So sometimes they like different thicknesses, you know, so they can kind of stage it in a step up. So we'll we'll see what we can do here. See if I can get that. What happened was we had this set up for more for the other blue clamp, but the blue clamp will just keep coming loose. So if it comes loose in the middle of the cut, then next thing you know, it's a disaster. We just cut through this board here. I want to get another 1.5 inches off it, and then we'll do the crotch section. Well, I got it on here. So just bear with me. Let me play. That should, whoop, to a 6.5, so 5. That should be us right there. Forward. Sometimes this variable speed control messes up. You got to replace those pretty often, or clean them out. They got little contacts in there that actually you can clean them out pretty easy. I've done that many a times. Got them working again. So yeah, that'll make a nice little piece right there. So we just got some stuff. I need a little stuff to putz around with in the shop. As you can tell, I get a little winded easy. So it's nice to have little things where I can just go out to the shop and do light duty stuff, and still be productive, make something, you know, make something of value. At least it's valuable to me. Might not be valuable to other people, but oh, that's going to be crooked to that, isn't it? Let's do it while we got it up here. I'll switch boards around. Just go ahead, and I need to take a skim off the bottom of that. You've got to put the clamp in there, it ain't going to clamp anything. So I think I can get the clamp down low enough. There we go, it's low enough. Let's see. I got it lower that time. I can probably take another 1.25 inches off of that. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to push it too much. I think cutting that metal probably wouldn't do too well for this blade. I just got to remember where I was at. I think I was at 5. That looks about right. So we'll go down. I'd like to do 4. 4 is probably, let's look at it here. Let's look at it. Oh yeah, there's plenty of room. Let's go down to 4. I don't mind having a 4-inch wide one. Clean that up pretty good. And making some little, I like having a lot of different size ones of these around because you got to shim something up. Or like in this case, expand your abilities to get over and clamp something. So it's good to have a bunch of oddball sizes of lumber at your mill. Sometimes I make some wedges, but the problem is I had wedges here, and the problem sometimes when you clean up, they end up disappearing. So sometimes when you put this clamp on, if the log is rounded or depending on where you're putting your clamp at, you need kind of a wedge piece so it won't keep rolling. So I think the other piece is a little bigger, but I think it'll still fit there where I got it. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's definitely got some character to the cookie. So how do they feel so dry? We'll find out. I bet you these are down around 15%, maybe a little less. Definitely towards the outside, but maybe the inside may be a little more. All right, now see if I can lift this big old hunk of each nut over there, even though it's faulty. Ugh. It's still got a little bit of weight to it. Actually, I should be able to lock that right in that little hole right there. Oh, look at that. Perfect. See, that's going to be some neat cookies. It's going to be kind of like an oval. But, let's see. I want to take the saw, after I get the clamp fastened onto the mill. I'm going to kind of clean that up a little bit. And that's kind of like why I like having a battery saw here. It's just so much nicer than cranking on a gas saw, you know. And like I say, we have the 18-inch one of these, and we have a 16. And I just like the 20, I think, because I have it on my big saws. I don't have to bend over as far to go through and like buck up slabs or to buck up some firewood or, you know, branches, stuff like that. Now look at that. A little soft, but I kind of want that characteristic. Of course, it's on an angle, so it'll have to be sanded, but it'll be nice. All right, put this back on my stump over here. Okay, let's get to cutting. We'll make our first cut. Our first cut will just be to get a level spot, which again, I got it close, it looks like. Old eyeball still works a little bit. I can see a big check right here. And I got a feeling when I get down in there, it's just going to go pop. But I can glue it together. Won't that be no big deal to glue it together? Let's see, we'll go down to 15 to start off at an even number. Definitely interested because you have all this figure right here. I'll bring it over in a second. But I noticed this thing started rocking. See? That thing comes loose. It'll bind up on that blade. It'll mess everything up. So, got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. But this is what I was hoping for. I was hoping for that, not really the cross section, but the branch section. Because where all these branch sections connect. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? You know, and then this you can just round off with a jigsaw or your bandsaw and get it smooth, you know. But yeah, I love the look of that. Look at that. That's just, and when you get some of that, I call it the gloss sauce, you know, like a liquid, something to make it stand out. It's definitely going to be some nice pieces. Like I said, they're pretty spalty. I'm going to have to use the solution in its full strength, I believe. Which I will be working on the other cookies that I did the first treatment, and I mixed it 2/3 to 1. I checked it, and it still feels like it's not hardened up enough, so I'm going to go ahead, when I do these ones, I'll do the other ones. If I treat these in a treatment after the dealing with the spaltiness, it will be the wood juice, because I can definitely tell that these are dry enough to go that route first. So let's see if I can get this thing to stay down there. kind of doing what the blue clamp does, but this is flat. The blue clamp is cut on an angle. So when you tighten it up, it wants to roll. It wants to lift the log. I don't even know if I can get that clamp because they don't use this style anymore. But if I can find another blue clamp, because I like the fact that I can just kind of dog it in, I think I'm going to cut it so that it's basically like a knife. It'll be like this but blunt. And thinking that won't lift or pull down at all. It'll be kind of neutral, but it'll dig into the bark. So if anybody of you guys have an older mill or know where I can get one of these clamps at, I like to get one. And then, like I say, you see right here, see how it's tapered? And what happens is when you go to turn it, that taper digs in, it wants to roll the log or move it. So my thought is to take and put another angle and have like an 1/8 inch there, and then that way it just clamps into it instead of lifting it. You know what I'm saying? So just a thought. So let's get back and get cutting this again. I want to make these ones a little thicker. I was afraid with that crotch section, it'd just be a little too thin, they split. Like it's getting ready to run out of fuel, and it's a pain if I run it out of fuel, so we'll stop there. I'll finish cutting that later when you guys are gone. But yeah, this is a neat looking one. I like this one. Some of these are just awesome. Like I say, this might not be your thing. Some people like this and some people don't. Everybody's a little different, but I will do a video when I go to finish these. There'll be a video on it, so you'll get to see it when it's got a little more shine to it. You'll see all the characters in the wood and all that stuff. So yeah, we got some nice pieces here. Definitely got some nice pieces. Yeah, well, this one I accidentally got my measurement off, but it's actually, I think, on a taper. That's all right. We'll still use it. Another little piece. So yeah, we'll end it there. It was nice to go ahead and break out the Dewalt Flex Volt 20-inch bar. I didn't suspect it would be any issues. The other one, the 18, cuts like crazy. So 20-inch bar just keep me when I'm bucking up, you know, limbs and stuff like that. I don't have to bend over as far and stuff like that to reach. Or if I'm cleaning stuff out of a tree, it won't be as bad. So far, I'm liking it. I'll have to get the other one out and put it next to it so you can kind of see. I'm sure the motor's a little bigger. I do, like I said, it has these on both sides. I don't even remember if my other one has it on both sides. I'll have to look. You know, you forget sometimes. The chain seems to cut pretty good. It does have a chisel chain, so it's proprietary, unfortunately, but I'm sure you could probably find a bar from Orion or something, chain combination. It would probably fit on here, I'm guessing. It does have your standard bolts for tightening the cover, and then it has your adjustment is right here for your chain adjustment. So you just loosen those up a little bit. So that's nice. It's right there in front of you. And the other one isn't like this, and I definitely going to like that one a lot more. So that's it. Just a fairly quick video. Cookie time, trying out the new DeWalt battery saw. And I'm happy so far. I didn't suspect I wouldn't be happy with it. But if you guys didn't watch earlier in the video, you didn't watch the whole thing, I want to get the Dewalt pruning battery Flex Volt, or it's not a Flex Volt, it's just a 20 volt battery pruning saw. There's two. One has a pole that you have to put in the extension to make it longer, and then it's just like a standard. The other has little clamps on it where the pole is adjustable, and the upper unit is where you put the battery. So the pole unit just has connectors for a switch. So if you take all the pole sections off, then you have just a little hand pruner. That's the one I'm leaning towards. But you guys tell me which one. There's two different ones. Which ones you guys would pick, and which ones maybe that you want to see a review on. So just let me know. I appreciate you. Hope you guys have a good weekend. It's Friday morning. So weekend will be here before you know it. So we'll see you later.